My brain is a little fried from the power of Notion and just the research I've been doing. A little afternoon van work session. Yeah, it's taken me back to being at school and when computers were first coming in and they first started introducing IT classes. We had a great teacher called Mr. Caulfield, Jim Caulfield, and we learnt Microsoft Access and we learnt databases. And yeah, it was just quite. I was a bit of a naughty child, a bit of a class clown. Didn't really get engaged in a lot of classes because we were just learning loads of facts. But then the computer came along. Luckily, we had a computer from different computers from a very early age. And yeah, I was always fascinated by that. And this teacher, even though he knew my reputation would have been my reputation, he was just so nice and so kind. And I was engaged, and he could probably see that. And was just very, very good at giving support and teaching. We did different projects, like we made a snooker. Because I was in snooker at the time, so I crossed that passion with the database, and we had to do a project. So I made a snooker club management system where it would check people in, and then they would record the time on the tables, and then they could pay the money and all of these things. And I remember him sitting down next to me and just so helpful. I don't think other children would. He definitely gave me a good amount of time, and it was just nice. It just felt natural to me. And then you go to down the road to French, where you just got to learn 10 words, which I think I've mentioned before. Me and my friend used to just it's a great way of learning, actually, and I'm just fascinated about how the brain works. I won't go off on that tangent just yet, but yeah, we basically used to just get the 10 words in English, get the answers, go to his house before the class or at lunch, and put them into Microsoft Word, shrink them down to like size 4 font, print a load out because it was only very small. You just print more out and then sell them for £1 to other people before the lesson. And then you just sellotape it to the end of your pencil. So you're in the lesson and you're just like, oh. And actually, by the time we'd gone through and got the information, typed it in, printed it, cut it out, stuck it to the pencils, you kind of knew most of it anyway. So it was actually, even though we were cheating, it was a really good way of learning. So I've just gone off on some tangents, haven't I? We're talking about databases, and this notion that I'm talking about, that's why I brought it up. It's just reminded me of some of my school days when we were learning Microsoft Access. Because again, it was just like this weird software, which was a blank canvas, but extremely powerful. You've just got to know how to be the architect of it, which I'm getting into. And there's a lot of good people out there that are doing Life OS, they're calling it, Life Operating System, where they're bringing together all the elements of life, not just work, not just using this to manage your work, but using it to manage all areas of life. And we've been using that with Todoist, having like shopping lists, things we need to buy, places that we've been to in the van that are great, as a store of information, but then regular dates coming up for when you need to think about an order, like we order from Riverford in the UK. If delivery's Friday, you've got to get your final order in by Wednesday, say. So just reminders for all those things that we really worked hard on automating when we had the cottage at the start of this year, which seems a million miles away. And it worked well, but I think because I am starting 100 startups in 1,000 days, and to do that, I need to bring in a lot of information and continue to learn to do the AI newsletter, for example. I need everything managed, and I'm just very excited about this. It feels like the final piece of the jigsaw, the foundational setup for everything, for it to go turbo. There's still a lot to learn. It's just so powerful. You can do anything and more, and yeah, I just feel like it's the software that I've been waiting to meet all of my life, really, everything. Because like spreadsheets, this is like spreadsheets times squared. Spreadsheets squared is how I would describe Notion. And I'm very good at spreadsheets. One of my last businesses, like I was, yeah, known as the spreadsheet guru. I love spreadsheets. I've made many spreadsheets. One of our startups is nonconformity spreadsheets to help people be good at spreadsheets and give away a lot of our free spreadsheets that we'll have across a lot of the businesses. And then we'll cross that with the agency business model, where if somebody needs some help, they can pay me money. I will consult with them, and then I'll outsource it to my team of spreadsheet experts if I can't do the work, and make their spreadsheet dreams come true. So yeah, it's good. It's also crossed with just a lot of things seem to be coming full circle. There was a book on the shelf, the Airbnb that we're in now. Neil, he must have been a past investment banker, because all of his books, half of his books, are on investing in the stock market and things like that. But he's got a lot of good books, so I've been picking up a few. There was that cookbook, the Towpath cookbook, which was very inspiring. And there was a book still in its cellophane called Ultra Learning. So I just like, oh, well, I'm going to open the cellophane and have a look at this, because it looked very interesting, because I wanted to learn French, and because part of the LIFEMASTER brand, which we want to put into this Notion software, has the evolution category, and in there, the subcategory, one of the subcategories is education. We need to be continually educating ourselves, because, you know, knowledge is always, it's got a life. The half-life of knowledge we've talked about in past videos. I make daily videos, trying to get better at videos. Maybe one day we'll see some fruit from our labor of hundreds of videos. It doesn't really matter. I'm doing this just to get better at the craft and to speak authentically about what I'm trying to do in the path. So once we grow really big, people might be interested. They might look back on these videos and be like, oh, it was a long and windy road, wasn't it? But yeah, I opened the book and it's called Ultra Learning. I can't remember, Scott something. But it had 5 reviews from other authors, and one of them was by an author called Chris Guillebeau. And I know this guy. He's written The $100 Startup, which was the New York Times bestseller. But he also wrote The Art of Nonconformity, which was a book that I got in 2016 when I was wondering what to do. And then I went to Bali, and I heard the term digital nomad, and I was like, sign me up. That is me. Yeah. Work on the laptop, go wherever. Who wouldn't want that? Like, perfect. And that was one of the books I read. And actually, he wrote also the book, The Art of Nonconformity. And in that book, that's what actually inspired the name nonconformityuniversity.com, which was the first domain I bought in this thing. The company's called Nonconformity Company. And we've got many other websites and businesses and sub-businesses around that. But his book, The Art of Nonconformity, inspired me to purchase that domain. And I searched the domain. It's like, nobody's got it. I've got to get that. It's unusually long. So anyway, I bought it. I've done numerous things with it over the years, and we're coming back now and getting it sorted and finalized. And we know what the purpose is for now. We know what it's there for, to present lots of free education across these areas about business, work, finances, evolution, health. Because I believe education should be free. And actually, yeah, the book, The Art of Nonconformity, Chris Guillebeau spoke about why go to university to like spend loads of money in debt and come out with a course and just not really know that much. And he was just like, look, here's another idea. You could probably do the equivalent of a couple of degrees for free with all of the free information out there. And he like pieced together a lot of syllabuses for like different universities and said, look, here's all the information. It's not like going to a university campus on a course and learning this stuff. I mean, I used to go into university for about 10 to 12 hours a week. That's just nothing, is it, really? Like class time. And the lectures were just like filled with people, and it's just some boring PowerPoint presentation at the front. You're just like, but I did love the coursework. Half of ours, luckily, was coursework and presentations and things like that. I love that. That's real, isn't it? Like coursework, presentations, thinking about business, making up business ideas. We had to come up with a new product idea for Cadbury's, and Cadbury's came in. We did a presentation. That was all good, but the lectures, nobody's paying attention. Nobody cares. So, to try and round this up, because we were over 10 minutes. Sorry, Mum. The book had a little preface of him just giving a thumbs up to this book, the Ultra Learning book that I've sent. So it reminded me of Chris Gulliver and the Art of Nonconformity. It reminded me of the roots of the company and why I bought that domain and what the idea was for it then. And the idea has not really changed. It's giving free education of actually things that work. It was more probably business and online business back then. I think it's evolved now into all areas of life, and also doing this challenge of 100 startups in 1,000 days. And apologies for the noise, I'm on a very busy street in the van. But yeah, again, in this book, he managed to piece together and do an MIT degree. He'd basically done a business degree for 4 years. This is how the book starts. And he came out of the business degree and just realized that actually that degree is only just going to get him maybe in the door of a company at the bottom level. He's not going to really earn that much. And that is the problem now with degrees and education. And there's less jobs. The education's outdated. The roles aren't there. So a lot of people are coming out of university, they're in debt, and they just haven't got opportunities that they may be used to. So he thought, oh, I should have done computer science at MIT. That's very expensive. He considered going back to university for another 4 years so he could come out with an actual opportunity. But yeah, that would have got him more debt, it would have taken more time, blah, 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 blah. So he ended up working out a way to hack and reverse engineer an MIT computer science degree that normally takes 4 years, it costs a lot of money and a lot of time, in 1 year for free. So this is what we're kind of getting at with Nonconformity Company. I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I'm trying to reverse engineer a lot of like complex things and make them simple for people. And that's what a lot of the startups are. It's like, if you want to do this, okay, here's the simplest path to do that. And just linking with the language, he met a guy that learns languages in 3 months, and he'd spent some time in France. I've just spent 3 months in France as well, and I was getting better at French. But he met this guy that's hacked languages as well. So linking that back with this Notion and LifeMaster and the company, and a lot of the templates that we're seeing from people that are teaching this Life OS, they're doing a great job, but I think I can do a better job and link it with the LifeMaster philosophy and have a dashboard for your life when you come up, which has the big, what a lot of people, these guys are missing, is having the big grand picture of those split into those areas going forward, and then having a list of all the things you need to do today, next week, next month to get there. So I think I've got something special here. And a lot of these people are making a lot of money doing this, and we're making no money at the moment, but we will, because we're keeping going. And it just feels like everything's coming together with this Notion, with this book, with just coming back to the roots and the education. We're just trying to do good. We're just trying to spread good education. So yeah, I went off on a few tangents there. That's what happens sometimes. It's good. I feel mentally exhausted. We've got schnitzels for dinner. Praise be to the chicken gods. And yeah, the English weather sucks. What can I say? It just absolutely, we've had everything. We've had rain, wind, storms, lightning, hail, like in a week or so, all the weathers. It's just wild. But anyway, blah, 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 blah.